Westeros!
And welcome to our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Glow.
And I'm Kyle.
We're the fucking Morning Throners.
And welcome back to another episode of Morning Throners podcast. Sorry for the wait. It's Nelson's fault.
We missed We've missed 2 weeks in the past month.
That's not good.
One of them,
It's Glow's fault.
One of them, I'm blaming on Glow, and I'll
Why is
take
my
the second
fault?
one because you didn't
Because
record.
we had to redo your recording like an idiot.
That's true. That was fucking annoying.
And
Let's see if you guys can spot it. One of the episodes that has come out recently.
I think didn't we
Glow-
put a disclaimer in the?
I don't think I did. Glow's audio didn't get recorded, so we sent him the audio of me, Kyle, and Jeff talking, and Glow had to speak over it later as pretending it
Fill
was
in
the
the
first
blanks.
time.
It wasn't bad because I could hear a little bit of my voice. So
I can only
kinda see
imagine
what I
how
was talking
fucking bad
about.
that is. I can only imagine.
No, it's actually pretty good. It's like pretty good. And it was funny because Glow would leave in like secrets for me. Like if there was a few times where somebody would say something and Glow would say something that I obviously couldn't leave in because it was like a spoiler or like vulgar or something, but like it was just for me to listen to and crack up when I was editing. All right, but this time we're all here. We're all recording, and we are talking about Sansa 1.
Hold on. Let's announce our more exciting news too.
What do we do? Oh, we're on iTunes.
We're on iTunes.
We are now on
boys.
iTunes. Everybody who listens to us anywhere.
iTunes.
So I'm not a big podcast knowledge guy yet. I'm working on it. I know Game of Thrones not about podcasts, but I've heard that iTunes is like the granddaddy for podcasts, right?
Yeah, man. The podcast like app is unbelievable.
It's like that's the one that that's the app that everybody listens to podcasts on. So if you listen to us anywhere else, check us out on iTunes. And even if you don't use iTunes, I'm pretty sure that like any podcast I've ever listened to, they're always like, go like us, follow us on iTunes because that's where it's important. Like that algorithm really accounts for likes and comments or whatever.
Yeah, so just like us.
So go lay it on heavy. Just suck our cocks, slobber all over iTunes in the comment section.
Yeah, that's all we really want.
That's all we
Nelson's really begging over here.
Do it on YouTube and Spotify too, and on Podbean and wherever the hell else we are.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Hit that bell.
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Subscribe.
All right. Back to business. Unfortunately, we have to talk about Sansa.
Dude, I
for
like
about
this
an
chapter.
hour.
You're crazy. I like
Okay.
this chapter.
Yeah.
Kyle?
I mean, it's got a lot of Arya in it, so it keeps it entertaining.
That's what I was saying to Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, some
screen.
We
stuff
get some new
happens.
characters too.
If it was Arya's point of view, it'd be way better.
We get a few cool new characters too.
They're not cool yet. I mean, they're just kind of dudes currently.
They're funny.
Yeah,
They're
we
telling
did
get
jokes
into
and
them.
shit.
They are funny.
Yeah, they had a little fun there. You're right.
I didn't
They like to
remember.
have fun there.
I didn't remember
Little
Selmy from
banner.
the beginning. The first time I read, I didn't remember. I just didn't know who he was. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I didn't pay
Yeah,
him any
now
mind.
we know who he is. He has long ass hair.
Does he in here? I
Yeah,
think
he's
Renly has
thinking-
long
I
ass
think
hair.
you're thinking of Renly.
Renly has long hair too, but I'm pretty sure.
All right, well,
This is like
we'll
long
find
gray
out when we get
hair.
there. Let's jump in at the beginning. How's it start? First off, who knows where we are? Where is it?
We're
They
just
are on the
just
King's
south
Road,
of the
right
just
at-
south of
right
the
at the
neck, north of
Trident.
the Trident, and
The Ruby Ford. So the Trident is you can't just say just north of the Trident. The Trident is a north-south river that runs for like
no,
50
we're north
weeks.
of the Trident, the spot where the battle happened.
Yeah, the
Ruby-
Trident
Okay.
is where Three Rivers.
No, that's
come
not
into
true. The
one
Trident is a river, and the Ruby Ford of the Trident is.
Dude,
Am I
All
wrong
right,
here?
Nelson, shut
Let
the
me
fuck
look
up.
at the
Just
map.
because you're the biggest
think you're
nerd
wrong.
ever, and you have the
Dude has
the
6
map.
maps around his
on
living
your
room.
fucking
yeah, he
He's not
doesn't
wall.
even
sure.
fucking know.
And he's not sure.
Oh, I
think it's up
there, but I don't know.
So
Put
on
it
this
up in
map,
the
not
correct
sure.
on
page.
this map, there's the green fork, the blue fork, and the red fork, and they all flow in together, and they meet at Lord Haraway's town.
That's
to
what I
form
said.
the
That's where
Trident.
Three Rivers run into.
They
Yeah.
flow into each other, and it's the Trident from the red fork on. It's the Trident. So when they're sort of at the red fork or the Ruby Ford, pretty sure that's where the red fork meets the Trident. It like runs into the green fork and the blue fork.
All right, so pretty much exactly what me and Glow said. South of the neck, north of the Trident.
They're right north of Harrenhal. So for you people who already know what the map looks like, they're just north of Harrenhal.
For you guys who
Or
give a
Kyle,
fuck
if you
what
want to go
Nelson
look at the
has
front
to
of your
say.
book. But all right, that's where they're at. And what's important about this spot? Did you guys already say it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
it's where King Robert killed Rhaegar, bro.
Yeah. I think this is also the household of Derry. There's like a
I
there's
don't.
like a
I don't remember
there's
that
like a
being
minor
said at
house
all.
around here somewhere.
It wasn't mentioned.
Oh really?
So.
Okay. So all right, let's jump into it. Where's Ned?
Ned's off hunting.
Ned's off hunting aurochs with Robert.
Aurochs.
There's still aurochs out on this land.
So yeah,
What the fuck is an auroch?
it's like
It's a big elk.
huge bull. It's a bull.
Big with elk horns.
Is that true?
I don't know. You haven't seen a picture of one.
You're
so.
right. I don't
Screen
think so
share
either.
now.
So I think I'm
Googling
pretty sure it's
it.
a Game of Thrones word.
It's a bull.
Is it
No,
a Game of
I
Thrones
think
word?
I've heard
Kyle?
of it.
Large wild cattle. Extinct species of large wild cattle. I've never heard of it before.
Does it
but
have
it's
elk
real.
horns on it?
No, it has bull horns.
Fuck.
Fuck off, Jeff.
They say there's another character in this that they call the Auroch, and I think they call him the Bull at the same time later, which is why I said that. But this starts off. Sansa's eating breakfast with Septa Mordain, and she's got Lady with her. So she's feeding Lady under the table, and Septa's asking like, "Hey, where's your sister?" And Sansa assumes that she went. So yeah, Sansa assumes that she was already like at the kitchen hours ago because she like saw her or whatever. And Septa's like, "Make sure you tell her to dress nice because they're supposed to go ride with the queen and the giant wheel, the queen and the princess in the giant wheelhouse today."
Which they mentioned they don't have windows. Like that would be
It would
awful.
probably get clammy.
Yeah,
in
that sounds. That would
It's
suck.
probably disgusting in
Yeah.
there.
I would hate that.
I mean, but it's also like
Like
They probably have incense burning.
I
and
get
shit.
what she's saying. Like, there's no windows, but it's like literally the size of like a house. It's like a trailer home, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying, and it doesn't have a single fucking window.
I could see there being like interior rooms where there's no windows, but it's hard to believe that they didn't have a single window in that thing. It would get stanky in there.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Didn't say they didn't
It's
have
like
vents.
Brand's room when Catelyn just kept shitting.
Well,
in
Arya
there.
complains about not having windows when Sansa goes to meet her because she's like, you can't see.
She wants to
anything."
like look out of it
Yeah.
though, not like.
Yeah, there
there's
must
probably like
ventilation.
ventilation.
Okay.
Maybe.
They're not
So,
the
but we find out
stupidest people in the
Sansa's
Seven
been-
Realms.
But we find out Sansa's been fired up about this forever. She's like honored to ride with the queen, and she hopes she might get to see Joffrey, which is funny because it ends up later this deal gets canceled, and she has to just spend the entire day with Joffrey.
Well, spoiler.
Yeah,
Everybody's
jeez.
already read it.
Yeah, dude.
So she's like saying she thinks she loves him, blah blah blah, and then she takes Lady to go find Arya. Oh, and they're saying that they're staying at a huge inn, a 3-story inn.
It's not that huge because it only can fit like a.
It says
Well,
400.
she said it was the biggest one
inn
she'd ever seen, but yeah.
Three
But it
stories.
can only fit a third of the.
Well, I think that was
people, right?
more of the
Yeah.
size of the crew
Well, it's a-
than the size
400
of the
people
inn.
is still,
I
like,
think
a lot
that's
of
what they're
people.
trying to say. That's what I'm saying. It's like the crew
Yeah.
is so big they couldn't even fit in this giant building.
Not big enough.
Well, and doesn't she say? So she says it took them 12 days to ride through the neck. It was like all muggy and like boggy. But she said like they've been
Yeah.
like more people have been joining as they go, like just random nights and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the cooler part about that is that Arya is just like climbing in the mud, picking poison flowers, and
All right, so that's what we're at.
Getting
We're,
poison
so we're
sumac.
at that part, Jeff. So Sansa goes to find Arya, and when she finds her, what's she doing?
She's brushing Nymeria.
brushing Nymeria's coat out of with mud.
There's
It's
all
stuck
kinds of
with
mud.
mud.
Yeah, so she's chilling on the banks of the river.
Nymeria wants nothing to do with it.
Chilling on the banks. Nymeria wants nothing to do with it. Sansa's like dressed nice. Tells them we got to do all this shit. And what's Arya's reaction?
I'm not doing
Fuck.
shit. Fuck the queen.
She's like,
Fuck
nah, I'm
no.
good.
I don't
I'm
even
good."
like that.
So
bitch.
what she want to do instead?
Go riding.
She wants to go, riding
says- she
down
talks
to
about
the
riding.
Ruby Ford and
Yeah,
look
yeah.
for rubies in the
Who's she
river.
going with?
Minka.
Micah.
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 Who's Micah?
Micah is the butcher's boy.
Butcher's boy. He's like I think Sansa says he's like a willful
Smells like shit. Smells like meat.
Smells like the slaughter meat house.
son of a butcher, wild, and he slept in a meat wagon. He's 13, and Arya is 9, right? So he's a little bit older.
9.
It's just a
Sansa's
commoner.
11.
Sansa's 11. Okay, yeah. So what kind of stuff does Arya say? Like, what kind of stuff has Arya been doing on the ride? Like, so far.
She's been just experiencing everything, learning.
Talking to anybody she can,
Flowers.
making friends.
So-
lizard
so
lions.
she
I thought that's
she
cool.
sees a lizard lion. What is a lizard lion?
It's gotta be like
Alligator,
an alligator,
crocodile.
right? Yeah.
Dope.
That's such a cool
It
name
is.
for it.
I think she says something like she sees like almost 50 new types of flowers she's never seen before. And there's like a story with one of the flowers. She brings Or what do they call them? Like the poison. It was like poison petals or something. She brings them to Ned. Like, oh, look at these cool flowers I found. And it turned out they were poison
Kisses.
ivy.
Poison kisses.
Poison kisses. It was probably just like poison ivy or poison oak or something like that. And she has like Sansa's like, oh, that serves her right. Now she's gonna be itchy, but she just like comes back the next day completely covered in mud.
Covered in mud.
She also says she has like bruises and shit, so she's been practicing sword fighting for a while.
That's that hint.
Oh, we don't know that. She could have fallen down.
We don't know
or
yet, but we
something.
find out by the end of it that she's practicing sword fights with Micah. But yeah,
that could have been the
Sansa
first
does say
time that they were playing swords.
It's true. But yeah, so Arya loves the
Who
ride. She
wasn't?
loves like going out and finding shit, taking Nymeria out, talking to just random people, and Sansa wants nothing to do with any of that. Which
yeah, Sansa seems like a total fuddy-duddy. Such a fish.
Oh, so what's one of the reasons? There's one big reason that Arya doesn't want to go in the wheelhouse.
She's not
They
allowed
won't
to
let
bring
Nymeria
the
in.
Because
puppers.
they can't bring Nymeria. So when Sansa finally goes to leave, she's like, "Oh, fine." Like, because Sansa's saying like, "There's gonna be
Me
lemon
and Lady will
cakes."
just eat the lemon cakes
Yeah.
with Marcella.
Yeah, and she's like, "You're not gonna be able to bring her, stupid."
You can't bring Lady either, bitch. Boom.
And-
Which I don't understand why she gets so emotional and starts crying. Like, that wasn't that good of a comeback.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
I
that
know.
fucking upset.
So,
Like,
but what?
Well, she's just upset that like she's spoiling everything.
One last thing is like, how are the wolves reacting like during
Cunt.
this? Like during this conversation between them?
just like their
Just
owners.
yeah, Lady's literally just like sitting there being pretty, like licking Sansa's fingers when she like looks at her, and Nymeria's just like not cooperating at all, like got mud in her fur. Arya's like sneaking up behind her and like jumps on her, and like Nymeria lets that happen, but as soon as she starts like going for the fur, she just like runs away again. I love these freaking wolves. Yeah, so then they leave, and Sansa leaves and goes back to go tell Septa Mordain like, hey, we're beat. Sansa's not gonna. Arya's not gonna come.
When she goes back, there's like a commotion going on.
And when she's going, like when Jeff was saying, she was really pissed off, and it wasn't just like this, but she's like crying just about the fact that Arya's her sister. She's like, how can two from the same parents,
So close together.
be so different? And she said that she even like you asked Kat one time if Arya was like a
If
bastard.
a Grumpkin came and stole
Yeah.
her real sister.
And again, I think this is like another chapter where they mention the same thing, that like which kids look like the Tullys and which ones look like Starks. She says like Arya and
Yeah,
Jon.
we talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard
Yeah.
that like 30 fucking times, so I need to hear it again.
I'm just saying they're pointing it out again. All right. So what happens, Kyle? What happens when she gets back to like the inn?
She was looking for the queen, pretty much, and like, well, she sees a commotion
Well, I think
going
at this
on.
part she was actually
by the
looking
queen.
for Septa Mordain to be like, "Hey, Arya's not going to come. What do we do?"
Okay.
But she like gets caught in this commotion. But yeah,
She sees the commotion, yeah. And then she sees
and the attention
two-
whore that
two
she
new
is just
people.
has to run there.
yeah, and she gets Lady to lead her to the front.
Such a smart move,
It
though.
is a smart
I was like, damn, that's
Everybody's
smart.
gonna run away.
Yeah, everybody's afraid of the wolf. Yeah.
How would
Yeah.
somebody just not try to shoot the direwolf?
We
yet?
talked
Like,
about this.
Oh my god, there's a fucking wolf here.
We talked about
Shoot
this in
it.
the cat chapter. Like, how big are these wolves? Like, we know they get huge, but like, how big
They
was
got to be like husky size right now.
how big was husky?
I mean,
size?
I'm just
we
thinking
talked
of what
about
the
that last
show
time.
was.
Yeah.
They were like
But they also look different too.
like a toddler dog.
Well, and like the damage they're doing and
they don't
stuff.
look like dogs either. They look bigger.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
they-
they were fucking.
Even at this
pups,
size,
though,
they
at one
probably have
point.
still huge paws though.
Yeah.
So
And,
does a
like,
fucking
fangs that are
dog
fucking
that's gonna be
bigger than a
big.
dude.
One
Those
dope,
big fucking-
one dope thing about the show, though.
Yeah, but bigger, dude.
One dope thing about the show, though. This is
They're just gonna have huge fucking paws and a small body.
it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has
Yeah.
really long legs, and
For sure,
like
yeah.
the body is like longer than normal, but it's like the size. It's like the normal size of a wolf. I think it's mostly legs. Is where like, I don't know. I'm not sure though. But one interesting thing about
Alright,
the
What were
show
you saying about the show?
is Lady, like the lady.
I know the answer.
So like once the direwolves
Sansa adopted
once
it.
the direwolves get too big, they had to use CGI. So Sansa adopted her. I think the only time they actually used like the real wolves in the same like scene as the people was season 1, and Sansa keeps Lady afterwards, which is dope. Or Sophie Turner keeps whichever dog was Lady, which is dope.
Did you know her other dog got hit by a car?
Why? I
What?
don't want to know that.
Yeah, dude.
Super
Thanks,
sad.
bro.
It happened. It was big news.
Nice downer, man.
All right.
What's the
So,
lady?
Kyle,
Alright.
back to what's going on here. She walks up. What's the commotion?
Well, she sees couple new people she's never seen before by the queen or by the wheelhouse, and the queen's at the top.
Yeah, queen's
right?
standing like at the top of the stairs.
She seems happy at least that these people are here. Like it doesn't seem like a threat or anything. And then she notices a third person, and that person freaked her the fuck out.
So the first two are like on a knee.
Yeah, and they seem like they're dressed well and like they got like ornamental armor. I mean, I'm sure it probably is functional as well, but it's
fancy.
Like super flashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're highborn.
Yeah. And then she sees the third dude who kind of just was wearing old shit.
All right, so from what you remember, who are these cats? Like names, if you remember it, any descriptions, relation to people?
I don't remember their names offhand here, but the one, Renly, I guess actually I do remember his name is Bobby's brother.
Bobby.
Bobby B.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bobby.
Bobby B.
Yeah, and then
so Renly Baratheon, younger
Barrington
brother.
or something.
Barristan Selmy.
Barristan, yeah.
Who's he?
He's a King's Guard?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we talked
Captain
about
of
this
the King's Guard.
Okay.
He is the Lord Commander, and we talked about this earlier. There was 3 King's Guard that was already with them, so that this is the 4th one that's with them now.
Yeah.
Meryn Trant.
The other ones were
Jaime Lannister.
Sir Burst Blunt.
Sir Burst Blunt.
Right now.
Okay. You have to keep reminding me of them.
So he's the 3rd one, and he's like old, which I guess makes sense if he's the commander. He's probably been there a while, but
yeah,
like,
she sounded like he was still capable, but he's
old.
old.
He said he's definitely like he's what do I say? I have the quote. One knight wore an intricate suit of white enameled scales, brilliant as the field of new fallen snow, with silver chasings and clasps that glittered in the sun. When he removed his helm, Sansa saw he was an old man with hair pale as his armor, yet he seemed strong and graceful for all that. From his shoulders hung the pure white cloak of the King's Guard.
And
this armor sounds sweet.
You should buy
white.
You should buy a
white
replica.
enameled scales. White enameled scales.
You should make it, Nelson.
Yeah.
This armor. I wanted to become a blacksmith.
See if you can cut off your
I
want
to forge some shit too. I think it's such a cool little
blacksmithing.
Just
you guys ever watch Forged in Fire?
Dude, love Forged in Fire.
That's such nerd shit.
Forged in Fire is
Forged in Fire is a
You
great
guys are
show.
fucking nerds.
You never watched Forged in Fire? It's great.
I just like watching them make like the swords from Game of Thrones, the swords from like Lord of the Rings.
It
the sword,
will kill.
It's awesome. All right, so yeah, Renly Baratheon, King's younger brother, Sir Barristan Selmy, King's Guard. Those 2 are the ones that are kneeling. And who is the last guy, Kyle?
So I don't remember his position offhand here, but he was like
the King's
pretty much
Justice.
King's Justice.
That gives it away there. Yeah, I mean he's like the head of the police force, kind of, right?
No, he's a headsman. He's literally just the heads off.
Oh, okay.
Executioner.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure he does like. I'm sure he probably has like other duties, but he can't be the head of the police force. We find out in a second here he doesn't have a tongue, so like
he can't do shit.
It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, I guess, but
so did they mention that?
Yeah.
Yep. Cut out with hot pincers.
No, the tongue. Yeah, no, I got the tongue. I meant that he cut people's heads off.
I think there's a part where Cersei says like you want the king's justice to be fearful or something like that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean.
No, she describes. Sansa says something like, fuck.
Something about he's a good headsman or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You picked a good headsman. As the headsman looked at her, his pale, colorless eyes seemed to strip the clothes away from her. So that's basically all they say.
The way Sansa says it, he stood at one side beside their horses, gaunt and grim man who watched the proceedings in silence. His face was pockmarked with beard and beardless, with deep-set eyes and hollow cheeks. Though he was not an old man, only a few wisps of hair remained to him, sprouting above his ears. But those had grown as long as a woman's. His armor was iron-gray chainmail over layers of boiled leather, plain and unadorned, and it spoke of age and hard use. Above his right shoulder, the stained leather hilt of a blade strapped to his back was visible. Two-handed greatsword, too long to be worn at his side.
Where is this headsman quote you're talking about? I still can't find it.
It does say headsman. Sorry if I offended you, Sir Ilan, she said. She waited for an answer, but none came. As the headsman looked at her, his pale, colorless eyes seemed to strip the clothes away from her.
Okay. Yeah. I see it now. So headsman to me just meant like he was in charge, but I get it now.
So I think
Like,
like
just so I didn't
earlier when
put two and two
Cersei
together.
announces him, she says King's Justice, but I guess the only reason I immediately assume that is headsman is because of this. I've already read this.
100 times.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just associated that with it, but I guess this is where they actually make the connection to people who aren't familiar.
Well,
yeah.
and what was I gonna say? And so like Sansa isn't used to that, right? Because Ned used to do that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he
Himself.
says
If you should pass a sentence, you should swing the sword.
but he says that's the old way. He says our people, because he asked Bran, why did I have to do it? And he says our people keep the old way, which kind of like says like this isn't really practiced everywhere, but we still do it the old way.
Do you think Sansa would know that because
she doesn't think anything about it, but yeah, she didn't go along. So does she even?
Yeah, like do girls go along for beheadings?
And did Ned ever have that?
She has to know. She has to know he's doing that.
Well, did Ned have that same conversation with her that he had with Bran? Like, yeah, she knows he's doing it, but does she even think anything of the fact that Robert doesn't? Like, Bran would, because Ned said this
talking
is.
To Sansa.
Yeah, Ned probably never talked to her. That was Kat's kid.
Arya was his kid.
All right, so Glow, your turn. What happens when Arya sees Ilyn, or Sansa sees Ilyn?
Sansa starts freaking out, and she's like, "Oh my god, he's so scary!" So she like curls away, and then as she curls away, the Hound is there and like grasps her by the shoulders, and she looks up and gets scared of him.
Yeah.
And then Lady starts growling a little bit. So she like curls up around Lady to pull her away.
Yeah.
And then that's when like
freaks out the crowd.
Yeah, so the crowd went from looking at the queen and everybody else to looking at Sansa and her crazy wolf now.
And crying like a little bitch.
Yeah.
And then Renly comes up and is like, "Is that a wolf? Let's fucking kill it, bro."
Yeah, so they both pull their swords out right away.
Like you were saying earlier, like whoever asked it.
How has somebody just not shot him with a fucking crossbow?
They're about to shoot him right there.
Because it's theirs. I mean, they're royalty, right?
Yeah, but people are scared shitless every time they see it. They just let it walk through.
Yeah, but you're not going to defy the king.
Yeah, well, everybody. That's the thing is everybody in the party knows what these wolves are now. But like these two guys, Barristan and Renly, have never seen them, which is why they immediately draw their swords. They're like, how the fuck did this wolf get into camp and nobody realized it? But what's the? Do you guys remember what the Hound says when they're like, "What's this wolf?" The Hound says that the Starks use them as wet nurses.
Yeah,
because there's one for every kid. So the queen's like, Joffrey, go to her, like make everything better.
Go comfort her.
And he does, and he's like, everybody's like, everybody get away, and he tells the Hound to get the fuck out of there, and he tells everybody it's just her pet. And he's like, I'm sorry, the Hound frightened you, and she's like, it wasn't the Hound, it was him, and she points to Ilyn, and this is when we get like the back and forth with
Renly and Barristan.
Barristan introduces himself. He's like, it's an honor to meet you, and he says, like he knows who he is because it's Joffrey and the Hound have said it, and she replies that like she makes it obvious
she knows who he is.
Like that she uses like Barristan the Bold, which is like his nickname. And then
Barristan the Old, more like.
So that's what Renly says, and then he quizzes
Roasted.
Sansa like, if you're really that smart, you'll know who I am. And she does. She knows that
you are really Ned's daughter.
By his armor, he's got a stag on it, and he looks like Robert
and
but
his
younger.
age.
And his age, because Robert's other brother is older.
She didn't really know. She just used context clues, so she's not a complete idiot.
She got her wits about her. She got her wits.
She's still a cunt.
Oh, there it is.
I was thinking
one per episode.
I was thinking I should go back and clip every time Jeff says Fortnite or cunt and like edit it into like an auto tune like Fortnite, cunt, Fortnite, cunt, like, and then that could be our intro or something.
Fortnite, cunt.
There you go.
Wow. Because we like to say Fortnite, not because of
yeah,
I thought
just
you were talking about the video game.
wouldn't use the same clip twice ever. They would all be unique times you said Fortnite. Yeah. All right, so we find out.
What
Dylan
about
Payne
Direwolf
got his
Pup?
tongue ripped out. You've only said that a few times. So we don't find out why, right? Why he got his tongue ripped out. We just find out the Mad King did it 14 years ago.
Correct.
With hot pincers.
All right, and then Cersei basically says like, "Oh, Sansa, we're not gonna be able to do this shit today. I gotta talk to these guys. Joffrey, she's all yours."
Joffrey, go fuck her.
So, first thing Joffrey does, he says,
Sansa's pumped.
Sansa's fired up. Joffrey says we're gonna leave Lady and the Hound behind. We'll leave both our pets behind. And he's like, she's like, what do you want to do? Or he says, what do you want to do? And he says, like, she says, like, whatever you want. And he says, let's go riding. And she's like, oh, I love riding. Even though earlier in the chapter she had said, like, I don't like riding.
She
Arya.
said
Why would
she
you want to
hates
waste
riding.
your day fucking getting...
Sword
So
dirty
here's
and-
my question that I was saying about earlier.
That's why she's a queen.
Is Arya and Joffrey, like, would they just be the best couple ever? They would just be
No.
off doing, like, boy shit all the time, like, having a grand old time.
Arya
I feel like
and
Joffrey
Joffrey?
I feel like
Arya's
Arya,
a good person.
I feel like from what we know at this point, Arya and Joffrey would get along.
Jeff is personally offended. He's
Aw,
personally
dude,
offended
no
that you said
way,
that.
dude.
Arya would tell
Joffrey
Joffrey
hates
to
the
go
small people.
But, like, listen to what they did. Like, they did when they go. Like, they go riding, they ride along the river, they explore caves. Like, Joffrey takes her
Yeah,
exploring
but
caves.
Joffrey's probably just talking about himself the whole time, like, "Oh my god, I'm such a badass dude." And Arya's
I
like,
guess,
"Dude,
but
shut
their
the fuck
interests
up. I'm
align.
gonna beat the shit out
You
of
have
you."
to admit,
Look
Arya
at
and
my awesome
Joffrey's.
sword.
You have to admit, Arya and Joffrey's interests align way more than.
And their
Sansa and Joffrey's.
personalities couldn't be farther the fuck apart.
I mean, but
One's
by
pompous,
that standard,
arrogant,
neither
and
could Joffrey and Sansa's.
no, because Sansa's just eating all that bullshit up.
I agree with Jeff on this one.
I don't know. I thought
Fuck
I
off,
thought it was
fucking
really weird
first.
how
They
Arya
have
was like,
similar interests, but totally different personalities, like Jeff said.
Because
Okay.
Sansa
Yeah.
or Arya has the interest of a fucking boy.
yeah,
Although Arya at the
So that's
at
any
the end of this
fucking
chapter
boy who
says the
has
same
a
thing
horse
as
and wants to go
Joffrey,
into
though.
what
caves
she
and shit.
what she
She
said?
didn't
Glenn?
hurt you much.
Well, she did that on purpose, so.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Glow, what the
it's
fuck
kind
are
of-
you talking about?
I'm just giving a point
Thank
to
you,
Nelson.
Glow. Thank you, Glow.
You can tell.
That was
you
the
can tell Glenn got his
stupidest
book
fucking
back.
point in this conversation.
All right, moving
No
on. What
way.
do they do? What happens with Joffrey and Sansa? They ride off, explore a cave. We said that.
Then
Jo-
finally, they come upon.
How about they just
Arya
go
and
to a
Micah.
fucking person's house and say, "Hey,
Yeah, that-
cook me some fucking food and give me
That's
your
fucked up.
wine."
That's fucked up. Yeah.
He's a fucking douchebag, and that's exactly what Ari would say too.
Yeah.
You
You
asshole.
might be right. I don't know.
Ruby,
Yeah, I guess.
they go to the Ruby Ford.
So then they go because Joffrey says like, "I'll show you where my father killed Rhaegar,"
Yeah.
and they go along and they hear clank, clank, clack, 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 clack.
It's actually snack, snack, snack.
Whatever. Sansa's
It's
like, "Let's get
actually
the
whack,
fuck outta
whack,
here."
whack.
No, it's snack, snack, snack.
Oh, they actually
Yeah.
gave
George had some food on the brain.
what's that called? An onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia?
Yeah. So all right, what happens, Chef?
Someone paid attention during English class.
Yeah. So, so they came up to the people that were making the noise, and it looked. I think they thought it was like two boys at first, but then it ended like one was much bigger, and like the bigger one pushes the little one down, and when the little one like turns around, it ends up being Arya, and like Sansa's freaking out, like, "Arya, what are you doing here? Like blah blah blah. You're such a bitch."
Well,
Arya's
Arya's,
like,
Arya's,
"Get the thing."
fuck out
yeah,
of here,
Arya's
bro.
yelling at them, but she's like, "Get away! Why are you bothering me?"
Yeah, and then Joffrey's like, "Oh, you think you're a tough big boy playing with your sticks, and you want to be a knight? Who are you, the butcher's boy?" Blah blah.
Well, and even earlier he was making fun of the Starks for using wood swords too. He's
Yeah.
like, this one's real. It's not wood.
Yeah,
so
'cause-
here he comes
yeah.
across some more.
So then he
Sansa
pretty.
says something like, "Are we gonna be safe without the Hound?" And he's like,
Yeah.
Joffrey's like,
Oh,
offended.
I've
He's
got
like, "I don't
lions.
use-" he's like, "I don't
lion's
use wood."
tooth.
Yeah, what's he call it?
Lion's
Tooth?
tooth.
Lion's tooth.
What a
the
stupid fucking name. What a stupid.
What
boy.
a cunt.
What a cunt. So then he
You
like
gotta
walks
say
up
it with
to.
an accent, you fucks.
Then he walks up to Minka and he's like, "Do you want to fight me or pick up your sword?" And he's like, "What is it? It's just a stick."
It's a
It's a-
fucking
it's a
stick,
stick.
dude.
It's a stick, man.
And Joffrey has his sword point on his cheek, and he's like drawing blood. He's
She
like,
asked me to, dude.
Does
I'm not
Joffrey
gonna-"
think like Sansa is like all about this?
Yeah, she's like getting wet to this right now.
Like this is not a tough guy move. You're about to like just butcher. You're about to butcher a butcher's boy.
And then Arya just pulls the goatest of goat moves and just takes her stick and whacks him so fucking hard on the head that he's bleeding.
How does he get up from that? I was thinking that, like, yo, your head's bleeding. How you getting up right now?
Yeah.
He
So
should
I
be
don't know. Do you remember what they
concussed.
say the sticks actually are?
No, I
They're
don't.
probably bigger than
Broom
you think.
handles. I
They
think
say
they
Oh,
say
yeah,
broom
yeah.
handles.
Yeah.
Dude, a broom handle is not like that thin.
Especially back
Nelson,
then.
you've probably been hit by a couple broom handles.
You could get
You s-
fucked up by a broom handle. Especially how old is Joffrey? He's not.
12?
12.
Yeah, he's not an old dude.
Sansa's 11, so if they're close to the same age.
I believe
They
Joffrey's
talk
12.
about how Micah was a year older than him.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Micah's
he's
13.
Yeah, Joffrey's
Yeah.
12.
That's
So I mean, that could do some damage, but yeah. All right, so Sansa hits him in the back of the head.
Arya's 9.
Arya hits him in the back of the head.
Arya.
Then what?
yeah. Then he comes after her.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Swinging
fuck
and
her
shit.
up.
With
And
a
Sansa-
fucking
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
sword. And it
Yeah,
broke,
but
it
come on,
broke her
he's
stick
swinging it-
completely the whole way through.
Like he's got his eyes closed. He's definitely got his eyes closed. He's not
Yeah.
hitting shit.
And then out of nowhere,
And
Wolf.
Sansa the whole time is just freaking out. She's like, "Stop it, bro."
You're ruining everything. You're ruining everything. No,
Yeah,
it's
she's-
ruining.
My day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Nymeria,
Ah!
just like
Second time one of these wolves came out of
yeah,
nowhere.
dude.
Stop shit.
A little late, though, right?
They're always.
Oh
late.
my god. Just in time.
It's on purpose.
They're always
They do it on
just in time.
purpose.
Yeah.
They're like,
Deus
let's
Ex.
see how this plays
Deus
out.
Ex Machina Wolf.
You can just get hurt enough, and then here comes the wolf.
Yeah.
He wants to give you a little bit of pain. All right, he's just
Yeah.
mauling.
Well, yeah, and it bit
The
the shit
arm,
out of
yeah.
him.
And then Arya holds his sword up to him and's like,
Yeah.
she didn't hurt you much, and then tosses the sword like a boss.
Yeah. That was the best part. Yeah. I was wondering what was going to happen there. And then it's
Did
like.
you think she was just
fucking
gonna
threw
finish
it
him?
into the river. No. I mean, I know enough about the show and whatnot that I know he lives. But, like, yeah, I thought she was going to, like, give it back to him or something, you know, like, mic drop, like, or even just throw it into the air, like, far away. But no, she threw it in the fucking river.
Like a boss.
like, go get that shit.
Also,
if you
Joffrey's
want it.
just like such like a bit like he's like whining like,
Yeah.
"Don't, I'll
I'm gonna
tell my mom."
Yeah.
Don't hurt me, I'll tell my mom.
Like at least
it's
be
like,
like,
dude,
"I'll
you
tell
just-
the queen" or something like that. Like not my mom. Come on, you got to know better than that.
Well, and dude just was like attacking an unarmed guy, like he was hardcore.
So what happens
and
with
now here he is.
Micah's dipped by this point, right?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah, he
pieced
ran
out.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the right move, right?
So in Sansa,
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
fucking
Yeah, that's
crazy
what I'm saying.
Sansa.
This dude just came at you with a sword.
If you're Sansa, whose side are you on after this?
Obviously
Well,
on Joffrey's.
She's on
She's gonna be
Joffrey's,
on
but she
both.
just saw this guy try to literally kill her sister with a sword. He saw a 12-year-old boy try and kill a 9-year-old girl with a sword, unarmed girl. That's ridiculous.
I
That
mean,
she's
she
still on
did.
this guy's
She
side.
did hit him in the head with a sword, though, or with a stick. I mean, right? Like, I mean,
Do I need to say it again?
What?
She's a cunt.
She's a cunt.
Hang out with Cat too much, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, you plant corn, you
She's
get
worse
corn.
than Cat.
You plant corn to get corn. All right, that's the end of so the end of the chapter is Sansa going like, "Whoa, my poor prince," and he's like,
well, and then he's like, "Go the fuck
Yeah, like,
away!
don't
Like, I'm a
touch me."
bitch. Like, yeah, I'm just a pussy."
And don't touch me.
thoughts on the first Sansa chapter?
That wasn't the first one,
That
was
was
it?
the first Sansa
Yeah.
chapter. Yeah.
First
We had an
Sansa.
Arya one earlier where she was in because they were doing sewing,
Okay.
but this is the first one from her.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was stuff happened at least. It wasn't all just build up.
I kind of really like this chapter. They meet new people. You get more action.
Yeah.
Again, we've had 2 action scenes.
And they've been like 2 of the last 3 we've read.
And again, it's like a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. This one was a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. So nothing crazy, but better than nothing.
Yeah. True.
Next one, Eddard. Also, it was a long one.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
Yeah,
It was
I
longer
was
than
like,
expecting.
oh my god, I'm getting winded reading this
I'm getting winded.
Next one's a
because I have
5-page
to
Eddard.
read out loud because I don't know.
I read out loud because Luke likes to listen.
You guys read out loud,
I'm
you
just
fucking
kidding.
noodles.
And I like to do the voices.
The
Nelson
problem
has
is
to
Nelson's
sound it
not,
out the whole time.
Nelson's not.
Yeah.
Nelson wasn't kidding.
I-
I was.
I always start off reading out loud, but then I normally stop after a page or so.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I can tell Luke's not. After I can tell Luke's not paying attention to me.
He's never paying.
He's sleeping right now.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for the non-spoiler section. We'll let Kyle go, and we'll again. I don't know how much spoilers we got for this one, but we'll roll into it. We'll see you in the next one, Kyle.
Cal, see you later, bud.
Bye, Kyle.
All right, later on, guys.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
All right. See you, Kyle.
See you later, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
And welcome back, everyone. Now on to the spoiler section of the first Sansa chapter of Game of Thrones. Not a very long one for us here, but hey, what are your thoughts and spoilers for this, boys?
Just a quick reminder to smash that like and subscribe button on iTunes.
That's our spoiler section for the day. Have a good one.
Also, write in. We like the fan write-ins. The Summer Hall one was really fun to do extra research on.
Right in.
Give us something. We'll talk about it. Once we're famous, there's gonna be too much to filter through. So do it now. It's your best
Do
chance.
it now.
Actually, I have one small spoiler, not really a big one.
All right, hit it.
Arya yells to Sansa, like, you're not going to be able to bring Lady either, like, to the carriage. And that kind of, they were talking about it before, how, like, the direwolves aren't going to be welcome in King's Landing.
That's because Lady
it's kinda
Gonley
like-
did.
That's
It's kind of like
crazy.
foreshadowing that they're not going to be able to bring them to King's Landing.
That's great. I never thought about that. That neither of them get their wolves to King's Landing. Dude, Nymeria is so awesome.
How about that?
Nymeria's the coolest wolf.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ghost is, dude.
I
What are
knew you were
talking
gonna
about?
say that, you idiot.
He's such a Jon Snow lover boy.
How is Ghost not the coolest fucking wolf? He's Snow
He's
White, doesn't
fucking
make a sound,
average.
has red eyes, dude. He's badass. I don't know what you're talking
Nymeria-
about.
Blah, blah, blah,
Nymeria
blah, blah.
leads a pack and literally
Yeah.
just like murders everyone in the world.
And has like a million puppies. Wolf
Yeah.
puppies.
Dude, she's
All
probably,
right, yeah, she's kind of cool.
you think Arya's getting fucked while she's skin changing Nymeria?
Of course.
That's kind of weird.
Does she skin change
Wait,
Nymeria
Varamir's-
from
Varamir's sex
from
skins,
Bravos? I forget.
Yeah, all the time. Wait,
Dude, I haven't read 4 in forever.
I don't remember if she's in Bravos when this happens, but she skin changes Nymeria, and Nymeria pulls Catelyn's body out of the river near the twins after the Red Wedding, and that's where Thoros finds her. So Arya creates Lady Stoneheart.
Yeah, I guess so.
Also, when they escape
Maybe.
from Harrenhal, they immediately start getting chased by 3 of Vargo Hoat's men. While they sleep for the first time after 2 days of riding, Arya wargs Nymeria and kills the 3 people chasing them to help her, Gendry, and Hot Pie escape. Nymeria is the coolest wolf. What the fuck is Ghost doing out there?
Nothing. We don't even know where he is.
He kills 1 zombie.
He doesn't kill him.
He doesn't even kill him. Jon has to kill him. Yeah, Ghost is useless.
Just
Ghost is
all right.
just as useless as
The other
Jon.
thing that I didn't even really write down, nor do I have really anything to talk about. I'm sure Nelson's going to go on a great tangent when I bring it up. Is the rubies in the river? If they found any rubies, just because of all the bullshit talk we have of people using ruby glamour and shit like that.
All right, well, I'm gonna hit you guys with a little trivia real quick.
All right, I guarantee you I get it before Glow.
I'm gonna beat you.
There's one place in Westeros that we hear of, like they find rubies. That rubies from this battle were washing up.
Ruby Glen.
No,
That's the stupidest
Harrenhal.
fucking answer. It's obviously Tarth.
it's in book. You're close. It's a Brienne chapter in book 4. The Quiet Isle, where there's the gravedigger that people think is the Hound.
Mm.
They go there, and like the head septon there says like everything that like comes out we just take, and that's like where we get all our wealth. And they said that they've had rubies. Oh, they said that they have 6 rubies from Rhaegar's armor, and they think that the 7th one is going to be like a really good sign because they're like it's like a religious island, right? I'm pretty sure they say they have 6 of the rubies from Rhaegar's armor. I think what you're hinting at for the spoilers though is the whole glamour thing that some people think
Right.
Mance Rhaegar is
Well, like Rhaegar's still alive, right?
that Rhaegar's still alive, and maybe Mance Rhaegar's him, and that somebody was being glamored to look like Rhaegar, and that's why there's rubies all over the breastplate. My thing is though, like how was his body not? He's like
Once they crushed him.
Like, wouldn't like somebody have realized, oh, this guy isn't Rhaegar?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, you can't keep a glamour when he's dead.
Maybe
Well,
it was
even
like
if you can, like, his body eventually got removed from that armor. Somebody took the armor. It's like super expensive.
Yeah.
So now you just have a body there.
maybe it was
and the
like a
rubies are gone.
Targaryen cousin that kind of looked like a Targaryen.
Kind of like what they do with Marcella and her
Right.
cousin and Dorne. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. But yeah, so the main thought here is that Rhaegar's still alive. I don't see the point of that.
Nah.
And the thing is, people think Rhaegar is Mance. I think we talked about this in one of the earlier episodes. They both like the harp, right? We were talking about it when we saw him with Jon Snow. We saw Mance Rayder with in the Jon Snow chapter playing the harp in the.
Yeah.
We find out they both like the harp. There's some weird conversations Mance has with Jon later. I don't think again that's something we'll keep an eye out, but I don't think there's much like proof of it here. But yeah, it's interesting. The thing is, like, Arya's gonna go look for rubies with Micah. How long ago was the trident? Like 16 years.
Yeah.
Small folk have been through that river. Like, people have probably drowned looking for rubies.
Yeah,
Arya and
but
Micah
it's
aren't
like-
gonna go find a ruby.
It's like
Dude,
people
they're little
searching.
kids,
it's
man.
like people
Come
searching
on.
for gold. Like, oh my god, there's some gold.
Yeah,
and you've got to find like gold flecks, and like that's like when people are digging gold
Get you
right
off.
now, they're not finding fucking nuggets. They're finding fucking gold powder, and
Yeah, and I get you, and it's
melting that into fucking gold.
it's still cool to go to that spot. But I'm just like, when Arya says that, I'm like, come on, Arya, you're smarter than
She's 9.
that.
You
Also-
do stupid shit now, and you're
okay,
fucking
one thing I want to talk about
26.
spoilers that I didn't think about during like beforehand, but after a conversation we had in the non-spoilers, I'm gonna definitely disagree with you guys. Arya is
About
fucked
what?
up. Arya is just
What?
like Joffrey, dude. She's literally just a murderer.
What the fuck are you talking about?
When she's in Bravo,
When she murders someone.
when she's in Bravo, she
like
kills.
4 years from now, when she's like, when
When
she
she's
watches her
Joffrey's age.
when she watches her
When
dad
she's
get his head
Joffrey's
chopped
age.
off, and
Okay,
she watches her dad's fucking
and she's
head
getting
get
paid
chopped
to do
off.
it, dude. I
Glow,
don't know what you're talking
Glow, here.
about. She doesn't.
Glow,
she doesn't
listen,
love
Glow,
killing
shut up.
people.
Glow, listen.
She questions
Glow,
everything.
listen. When Sam's in Bravos, he's there with Gilly, Maester Aemon. Maester Aemon's real sick, and there's a singer, Darren, I think. Right?
Yeah.
He's a singer.
Yeah, and he abandons the Night's Watch.
And Arya kills him without being told to. That's why they make her go blind. In the
Well,
show,
she
she
becomes
kills
a
Mary
badass motherfucker.
Okay, but she's literally murdering people for her own.
At least she's
Well,
actually
she thinks
killing
she's
them.
the only Stark, and she has to enact the Stark's fucking
Revenge.
rule. If you abandon the wall, you have to get fucking killed.
All right, she
Yeah,
kills
and it's
Polliver
just-
in the inn.
Fuck Polliver.
Polliver fucking killed all her friends.
Okay, I'm just saying, she's a 12-year-old girl who kills without remorse.
Let's be serious. Joffrey
Yeah,
isn't
but it's
killing
different, though.
shit,
These-
but that fucking whore. He shot a whore with a crossbow. He can't even use lion's tooth or lion's bane or whatever fucking
Does he
widow's
do that in the
wail.
books? I mean,
I
he
don't
does.
fucking
He does
know.
way more fucked up shit in the book. So I'm not saying Joffrey's not a fucked up person. And I get it. I get what you're saying. That the intentions are different, but they're both like pretty
100%.
cruel.
I don't want to hear this.
Arya
conversation
leaves.
anymore.
Arya leaves the Hound alive to suffer. That is fucked. That's cruel.
No, it's revenge.
Revenge is just killing him.
He killed Micah.
Then kill him.
Spoiler
Then
alert.
kill him.
Mm-mm.
Give him the gift
Make
of
him
mercy.
suffer.
He showed you where the heart was. I get.
Make him
I
suffer.
get it. I get some of the reasons why Arya does what she does, but
Dude,
you have to think about
what
it.
is
She's
this?
a 12-year-old girl. She's kind of like Joffrey, right?
She watched her dad's head get chopped off.
On the spectrum of from cruel to not cruel, Arya's way closer to Joffrey than most people are to Joffrey.
Oh my god. Well, sure.
All right,
And
that's
she
all I'm
also
saying.
is. She's also close to having a dick too, and she could be a Joffrey's brother.
you know what I'm saying. A lot of people like Arya, and I like Arya too. She's a really cool badass little girl, but she's like some of the shit she does is fucked up later on.
Not in this time. She's a fucking. She wants to be a fucking mercenary. She wants to kill people.
Yeah, you gotta be ruthless, but you have to have a code too, and Joffrey didn't have a code, man. Different
That's
personalities.
true. That you just pissed me off. Though. This has nothing to do with what you said, but in the fucking the show, David and Dan.
You just hate that I like John more.
David and Dan ruin the show, and like some shit just comes back to me. There's the part where Arya, something happens, and the Hound says, "I'm not a thief. A man's got to have a code." Or he says like, "I'm not a thief," and Arya says like, "You kill people," and he's like, "A man's got to have a code." And then in the next episode, he steals all the money from that like guy and his daughter who give him food and like say the prayer. Who's like, that's like too long. Remember that? And he like promises him work on the next episode. He steals from those people right after he tells Ari he has a code and he kills people but he doesn't steal. Like, come on! But I get what you're saying. A man's got to have a code. I don't know if Arya has a code.
You're talking about the Hound compared to Arya.
Also,
Arya has a
if
code,
Arya
bro.
goes down the same path as she does in the show, where she kills an entire family of Freys, even if they had nothing to do with the Red Wedding.
Payback. What do you mean they didn't have anything to do with it?
She killed all the
Dude,
men.
in the books,
They're all
there's
at
a
the fucking wedding.
ton of Freys that have nothing to do with the Red Wedding. Two of the Freys are Rob Squires, and they purposely don't get invited to the Red Wedding because they don't think the Freys don't think they're loyal.
Eliminate everybody.
I'm just saying.
That's why you wouldn't have survived.
We don't know
back
that she
then.
doesn't
You're too
kill-
soft.
And she might not even do that in the books. That's what I'm saying. That's just like
Yeah.
if, but
Oh, she's doing it.
all right. I don't have anything else. You guys, Jeff, any more stuff? Or are we talking about wolves? Did we talk about the wolves enough?
There was not much about the wolves.
Oh, what
Anything
about
with Sir Ilan and the Hound or
Dude,
anything like
actually, do the wolves have like premonition skills or some shit? Because like when she looked at Ellen Payne, she like had this foreboding
She growled.
horror.
She grabbed for the Hound too,
What?
and the Hound's never been nice, anything, but nice to Sansa and Arya.
that? The little
Yeah,
bird.
sure.
Like he's kind of fucked up, but he does look out for both of them.
Yeah.
Also, something I was talking to Jeff about, and I might have talked to Glow about when you were here this weekend. Renly is a badass.
Yeah, you said that, and he's not really. Why is he a badass? We have no proof of him being a badass right now.
I don't know why. Yeah.
He doesn't do a thing.
He was the handsomest man Sansa had ever set eyes upon. Tall and powerfully made, with jet black hair that fell to his shoulders and framed a clean-shaven face, and laughing green eyes to match his armor. Cradled under one arm, he had an antlered helm, magnificent. Dude, he's just like, he's funny. Dude, he's funny in the books. You're gonna find that out the second read through. Not just here, he's always making jokes, and he's just like in the books, he's kind of a pussy. He's
in the movie.
in the show. He doesn't know how to. He's not good at like he says he's not good at fighting because talks to Loras about like how Loras was like, I practice at it every day. Blah 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 blah. Like Renly's not good at fighting. He's tiny. He's not muscular. Here he's like Robert. He's exactly like Robert was when he was young. We don't know if he's that good at fighting or not, but he looks like him.
Dude,
And he's funny.
Loras in the show looks like a little bitch too.
That's true. And
That's very true.
I am a good fighter. He was like 140 fucking pounds. Get that little fucking squid out of my face.
Loras is probably the most different looking character between shows and books, right? In the
I'd
I
have
forget what
to.
Loras
I'd have
is.
to
in the
hear
books
his
he look
description.
in the books he's described as being more twin to Marjorie than Cersei and Jaime are. Like looking more like Marjorie than Cersei and Jaime look alike. And Marjorie has dark hair, like dark brown hair, a round face.
How do we feel that Marjorie in the show fits in on the scale of women?
What do you mean hotness? She's
Mhm.
top 2. She.
On the show scale, like
Show scale.
I don't know who's like Miss
Marjorie or Sophie
Missandei?
Turner.
Marjorie.
Wow.
Missandei is
Missandei's
maybe
the
hotter.
hottest.
Marjorie or Missandei.
Missandei's
is
the
tough.
hottest
That's
girl.
tough.
Missandei is the
Yeah,
hottest girl on the
Missandei is
show.
probably one.
Missandei's the hottest girl in the realm. Let's get that out of the way.
Is that
So-
crazy? Is everybody
Alright, yeah,
agree on
she's
that?
probably 2 then.
Most people would say
She's-
like
no.
if you said
Amelia
hottest
Clark's way
everybo-
better than Natalie Dormer.
No.
I feel
Yeah.
like most people would say Amelia Clark or
Dude,
Sophie
Natalie
Turner.
Dormer has
It's so bad.
her nose is so far
Who's Natalie
up her
Dormer?
fucking forehead.
That's Marjorie? No, she's so hot.
That's Marjorie.
Dude, her
She is hot.
tatas,
I've
She's
done-
her tatas in the one where she's trying to fuck Renly and he's not about it. Oh my god.
No, Amelia's way better. Come on, don't.
Dude,
You can
Marjorie,
give me Amelia at
this
season
is
8
not-
in that
this is
full
not an
fucking
objective statement.
sweater.
this is not an objective statement. Marjorie Tyrell has better tits than Daenerys Targaryen in the show. That's not objective. That's a fact. They're both on camera, and that's a fact. Maybe in the
We'll have
books
to
it's
com-
different.
We'll have to get. You're gonna
All
have
right,
to
we're
get
gonna
Google
tweet
it
out
and
side by side,
stuff.
full frontals.
Side by side tit action.
We're gonna
on
make
Twitter.
we'll make a quick poll. All I'm saying is, give me Amelia Clark with that full wool dragon dress thing that she wears, and
Wool.
The white one.
it looks like it's fucking huge wool.
Oh, the white one.
Yeah, or the black one. I'll take the black one too. Like, I love the tweet that Nelson tweeted out like a month ago, where Dan and Dave were like, "All right, stop loving Daenerys," and it's the Michael Scott gif of You know what? I'm gonna love her even more.
yeah.
That's so true.
It was a tweet like Dave tried to make everybody not love Daenerys by just ruining her character, and then I was like, "This is Jeff," and it was Michael Scott. I'm gonna love her.
You know what? I'm gonna love her even harder.
What a great fucking Michael Scott. Oh man.
All right, we got enough. They were rambling at this point. Renly and them are awesome. Also, Renly at this point in the book's not confirmed gay. There's hints at it, but like we'll keep an eye out. Like, again, it doesn't really matter. Other characters talk about it in like when trying to say like, oh, who can like we're gonna have trouble getting people married, and oh, Marjorie's still a virgin, like that kind of stuff.
You know what's also bad by the show is that nobody has long hair, but like Renly should.
Ned Stark.
Didn't
Should
say
have
he have
long
long hair. Like Ned and Robert have long hair,
and
nobody
even
else
people who
does.
started with long hair, like Jamie, get it cut short later.
Yeah, like I want to see Jamie. Jamie should be bald season 2.
Also,
season 3.
was Cersei bald?
She got it cut.
She got her hair cut.
They did when they did the walk. They got her hair cut.
Yeah. It wasn't bald. It looked like a fucking.
Oh yeah. She gets
Rusty
cut
pair of
bald
scissors
here,
did it.
and Amelia goes bald twice, right? She gets bald in the dragon pit, and
Burns
she
her-
gets
burns her
bald
hair
when she
off,
gives
yeah.
birth to the dragons.
They never burn her hair, which is bullshit.
Nah, I'm okay.
All right, that's all we got. We're gonna let it go there, so we stop rambling. We'll see you guys in the next one. Again, like and follow. We're on iTunes now, and write in. We'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, buddy.
The night is dark and full of terrors.